Shalom! So this video will only be featured here on YouTube because I want to start creating more and more awesome content for YouTube only. It's crazy to think that on Facebook I have around 600,000 followers and on YouTube it's below 50. So I have a lot of hard and amazing work to do here, and I hope that you will join me on this journey, all for the sake of Israel. And without further ado, let me grab my laptop. I asked you to ask me anything you'd like to get an answer for. And you guys asked some awesome questions, some that I want to answer and some that not, but I have to do both. So let's get started. Enrico is asking, do you support a Palestinian state if their leaders really want peace with Israel? Wow, that's a question a lot of leaders would want to avoid. But let me tell you this, I think that the current Palestinian leadership obviously doesn't want peace with Israel. They seek to preserve the current conflict because they gain a lot from it. If we will see Palestinian leaders that truly want peace with Israel, then obviously we would love to work with them and find a proper solution for the Palestinians, because obviously we need to find a solution. Right now they live in Israel, the historic Jewish homeland, and obviously it's inhumane to transfer them. I think that most of you guys would agree with me, so I think that we would have to find a solution. If you have a solution for it, let me know in the comments down below. I think that the entire world has been trying to find a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's really hard. It's really hard. So let me know, what do you think? Moving on to the next question. Anna is asking, what are you studying and what are you majoring in? Plus, how old are you? Well, I'm 24 years old and I'm studying political science and international relations. I'm studying for a bachelor's. Deborah is asking a question that all of us here in Israel have been asking. I was wondering what was happening with your government. Has there been any resolution? Is Prime Minister Bibi still at the helm? God bless. Well, I'm actually gonna make a whole video about this topic for you guys here on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe, and I'm probably gonna upload it next week or something. GD is asking, Maccabi Haifa fan by chance? Well, I'm sorry to break this news to you, but I barely watch soccer or football. I do watch the World Cup, but I'm not a huge soccer fan, so sorry to upset you. Tokmo 2000 is asking, assuming there is no more conflict once and for all, what would both Israel and Palestine look like? How far away that is from today's situation? Again, that is a very tough question. Honestly, I have no idea how things are going to look like. Thinking about what you wrote feels like a dream. Today's Palestinian leadership is teaching the next generation to hate Jews and murder us. And let me add to this that we live in the Middle East, where things change so rapidly from one edge to another. So it's very hard to determine what the future is going to look like. So we can only hope for peace. Flemlo is asking, which country did your ancestors live in before Israel? Well, I assume that you talk about my parents. And my father was born in Kiev, Ukraine. My mother came from Russia. And as soon as communism collapsed in the USSR, former Soviet Union, they came to Israel immediately. And obviously I was born here. Atem is asking, what's your favorite movies series? Well, actually, lately I watched a movie called Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler. It's honestly a hilarious movie, comedy. And serious, I've been watching Homeland on Netflix. Very, very interesting. Starflower25 is asking, what do you like to put in your coffee? Absolutely nothing. I like it sugar-free and bitter. Iglesias is asking, how are you feeling since Christmas is just 2 months away? Well, to be honest, Christmas isn't a big deal in Israel. So obviously Christians who live here, they celebrate it. It's not a big thing like it is in the States or in Europe, for example, with exchanging gifts and stuff. But I know that municipalities like Nazareth, Haifa, they do decorate a tree for the sake of the Christian community. So it does feel like Christmas, but no snow. Grace is asking, if you were a tour guide for, say, a 2-week trip, I know that's not long enough, which sites would you take your group to and why? That's a very interesting question. I think I would divide it to two types of groups. One that it's their first time in Israel, and the second one that it's not their first time in Israel. If it's your first time in Israel, obviously you should see all the obvious sites, such as Jerusalem, Temple Mount, Western Wall, City of David, Tel Aviv, Mediterranean Sea, Caesarea, Sea of Galilee. But if it's a group that it's their second time in Israel, so I think that they would probably be more interested to see more local sites and, you know, places where you can see a lot of tourists. Chenny is asking, what's your favorite holiday and why? Well, it might sound funny to you, but Hanukkah is actually my favorite holiday, the upcoming Hanukkah. And well, because of the donuts, the sufganiyot that suddenly appear in grocery stores. Nick is asking, which country is your favorite? Well, I was born in Israel. I advocate for Israel. I speak up for Israel. So I would say that Israel is my favorite country. Obviously, I'm biased. I was born and raised here in Israel. I know that I really want to visit India, for example, and Philippines, the USA again. But if you have countries that you think I really should visit as an Israeli, I would love to read them in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, call your friends to do the same, and don't forget to comment down below. Let me know, what did you think? See you next week.